Trying to hide from Danny Watters here. He's a former lawyer, and you know, he's straightforward, justice, and trying to hide from him. That dog's just keep on going. And I want to talk about the natives and justice. Okay, here we go. I hope he's in the mood. Time to go for the kill. Almost. And right to Justice Building.
Oh, jeez. Thought I'd almost escaped.
Right in the right spot.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Where Justice is, right on the front of the building.
Justice, right in the right spot.
Yeah.
So, what do you think every time when you walk by here?
I'd just say thank goodness I don't have to go in that building and beg for mercy anymore.
No?
No, I was so sick of it. It's a long time, you know.
Oh, by the way, you want to sit down, go ahead. Have a seat, have a seat. Go ahead.
Well, I think I will. That's what
I know. Go have a seat. Enjoy.
What shit are you getting into now?
No, never mind me. We're talking about you.
Oh, okay.
So, I always said there's no justice.
There's justice. Justice, according to Dan Hurley, is what you get. It's justice. And you got a conflicting system in there. It's like a bull and a bullfighter. How are you going to have justice if you've got the bull here and the bullfighter there? Or the fish here and the fisherman there? Where's justice when they're done their whatever they're doing? You know, you can come to doing certain things to stop people from bumping into each other, and that's pretty well all we did there.
But the natives, they're not treated good in there.
Well, they are now, and they were a lot better than when I started.
But they're really, still to this day, they're...
Not that much, because there's not that many of them there anymore. Now that they've got a booming businesses over there, and they got pride, and they've got property, and you don't see those names in the paper anymore. I was into about third or fourth generation, and the boom over in St. Mary's has been beautiful to see. They were self-sufficient people to begin with, but now, thanks to their own toil and stuff, they really are. They're not dependent upon too much of the public tit. You know, the white world has stolen enough from them. About time they gave back to the gambling machines.
But you see natives in there, they don't have the right representation. Like, okay, just for an example, there's one there.
It's a crapshoot.
You see a young guy like that. Look, you see a young guy, a young prosecutor. Okay, but when it comes to the less, but then you have a young guy that don't have a conscience.
That's part of the job.
Is that
they can't have a conscience, like a police officer. If you have a conscience, you can't do your job. If you're a social worker, go do social work or do what I did. If you have a conscience, you can't be a police officer. You can't be a prosecutor.
But how about true justice?
There's no such thing. There is justice. And, a smart man told me at first time in law school up there, justice is what you get. Whatever you get. It's the workings of justice. The people get charged with things, they go into court, they're usually found guilty, and then you go into beg for mercy mode, and then you either get a slap in the wrist or they'll go get some free room and board.
But all the time I went in there, I wasn't guilty.
Well, it's got nothing to do with it. Guilt or not guilty is when the judge's mouth quits moving. That's when guilt or innocence is, or not, there's no such thing as innocent. None of us are innocent. But guilty or not guilty is when the judge's mouth quits moving. Boom, like that. And they have said those words, guilty or not guilty. And then you go to process 2. Once he says guilty, you go into begging for mercy mode. And you get about as just a sentence as that guy or girl deserves. They get people reporting on them from the probation services, write their life story. When they patted a dog, were they good to their parents? I go in there and cry a river. And then justice takes over. Says either lock them up or go home.
But what about the innocence?
There's no innocence. We're not even born innocent, according to your great book. We're born, by golly, guilty of some ancient sin that happened 6,000 years ago. We're all guilty of that. And it wasn't atoned for by the death of a thug called Jesus.
We're born with a clear conscience. We hugged, we're a little child. We're innocent.
No, nobody's innocent. We are human. You cannot be innocent. Innocent is something for a newborn babe. That's it. Babies are taught all the shit that goes on in their lives. They're born innocent. They're born atheist. They're born not conforming to any creed or dogma. And then society twists them.
What about Dennis Olin? Is he guilty?
I don't know.
You been
Jury said
following
so,
that?
but I follow a lot of it. Yeah, I didn't think he'd be found guilty, but there's about 5 people could have done that. He's one of them. There's 5 others that could have done it, and I didn't have the trial. Thank God, I couldn't have stood it.
You think we should get a? Do you think he should be appealed?
Well, he should be released pending the appeal.
He should? Why?
There's no danger.
Well, but what about the rest of the welfare bums that...
Most of them get released on this thing, and some welfare bums don't. That's called justice. That's what they got. And as close you're going to get it is what's written on top of that door.
I know, that's what we're doing the interview, right there.
it
Right
is.
there, yeah, I know.
You don't expect justice. You expect people to get done to them as society deems should be done. Sometimes vengeance, most times they talk about restitution and rehabilitation. That doesn't happen because you lock them in a room with other hoodlums. But no, it's just a total waste of time in a way, but we haven't dreamed up anything else since the Middle Ages. Good Christians invented locking people up. So we're stuck with it.
You watched the debate last night?
No, I wouldn't watch a minute of it.
Huh?
No,
Huh?
I wouldn't. It's like watching a Blue Jays game. I get too much involved in it, so I don't want to. I read the
Jays.
comments this morning. I can't stand to watch them play because I don't want to see them lose.
Why would you want to watch a millionaire swing a piece of stick?
I don't, not if it's Blue Jays, because I care too much. And about Trump, I care too much if he gets in there. I'm scared to death of that man. You know, Hillary is a saint compared to him. She's the best thing that ever happened to the political scene.
As that building is the same as it was inside 50 years ago?
No, it was a school 50 years ago. It was a teacher's college.
No, but is it the
teacher.
same attitude? Okay, sorry, I apologize. I've only been here 14 years. I'm not like you've been here 100 years. Has it been the same for 20 years ago or 30 years
Well,
ago?
justice has been the same ever since it got invented back in England 1,000 years ago. There's always been the argument, this and that, and sometimes the judge says this and sometimes the judge says that. And generally it's fair. You know, the English tried very hard to have a good code, and slowly but surely it's getting better.
Was the issue of summary more determined now than it was then, or is it the same thing?
Well, it's the same thing. It's a less harmful crime to be committed, and therefore the punishments or
Well, it has
whatever
nothing
is
to
to
do. It has
happen is
nothing. It
less.
has nothing to do with less harshful crime.
Totally.
It has to do with New
No, it
Brunswick
isn't.
legal aid not to give you a funded lawyer,
No, that's got nothing to do with it.
and there's
because
no
there-
preliminary hearing.
There are crimes that are like shoplifting and common assaults and stuff like that shouldn't be dealt with total harsh penalties. So they have summary conviction to handle those things.
Are you trying to tell me it's me that's paranoid saying they
Yes.
got summary
Totally. That there's something
because
to it, yeah.
legal aid
to
will
keep
not
you
give
away
you a
from
lawyer?
it. But that's legal aid's problem. They should, but they don't have the budget. They don't have the money.
How was legal aid 25 years ago?
Same.
Same thing?
Fought every day of it trying to get this thing done and people to get representation, but they don't have enough money. We're a poor province here. We do well with what we have. The system works just fine given the money that's behind it.
Language commissioner, got an opinion on that?
I don't care.
Non, il faut parler français, toi, non?
Some of it. My friends, I have a couple of children that speak, but that's fine. I don't care. I'll get by. I know how to say I'm hungry and I'm horny in French, and that's enough.
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
you're lucky I have a little cold.